evening, cult members of Blah Blah Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And welcome to our trailer reaction for the greatest beer run ever from Apple TV. Nobody's going to do this trailer reaction, but I have comments. I've watched this. I'm going to see what she has to say about it. But I have comments about what I've seen so far. So I'm here for it. So
right, it's your channel. You can do whatever you want.
I can do whatever the hell I want. So here we go. The greatest beer run ever. And go.
I'm going to Vietnam, and I'm bringing a beer!
Is that Zac Efron? Okay.
Are you ready?
What are we doing?
We're gonna run for our lives.
We're halfway home. Halfway?
I'm Chicky Donahue, and I am not supposed to be in Vietnam.
No?
Hey, get your ass out of bed, you lazy bum. Look at you, sleeping your life away. Look at these
Thank you.
scumbags. Hey, you're embarrassing yourself and you're embarrassing your family.
Do these protesters not know that our soldiers see that on TV? I'd like to go over to Vietnam, track down all the boys in the neighborhood, and give them a beer.
I could do that.
Do what?
Bring in beer.
He's not serious.
I'm in.
He's hammered. Look at him.
The man's stone sober. That's his fifth beer, maybe, tops.
I'm going to Vietnam, and I'm bringing a beer!
Hey, Chief, no chance you have a ship heading to Vietnam.
1,700 hours.
Tonight? It's not gonna be easy.
But I'm gonna show them that this country is still behind them.
You're gonna get yourself killed over there.
It's like you said, everyone's doing something. I'm doing nothing.
Except bringing beer.
Right.
Beer into a war zone. That's not the smartest thing I've ever heard of. It's certainly not the worst either.
Fair.
What if you start up here with Collins,
Just came to deliver a sudsy thank you card.
and then if you're still alive,
You American? New York. Thanks a lot.
you can hustle down to Dugan?
Ta-da!
Tricky?
I brought you beer.
You shouldn't be here.
You think this is funny?
I'm not doing this for laughs. I'm doing it for all you guys.
Come on, time to go.
Is it over?
Yeah, you're dead.
You don't get it, do you, chick? This isn't a John Wayne movie where you know the good guys are and you know the bad guys are.
I didn't come all this way just to quit.
Somebody's got to be here to see what's going on. I want the truth told. For them. They're just kids.
You're gonna find out it's a lot harder to get out of a war than it is to get into one.
I'm trying to show
well.
them that somebody back home is still behind them.
You got a good heart, Chicky. It's your brains I'm worried about.
Fair. Fair.
Who's this hand job?
It's my next door neighbor. He brought me a beer.
Hi.
Oh, it's in theaters.
Oh,
okay,
it's in
good.
theaters. Okay.
All right. That's the one part I didn't see earlier. All right. Thoughts?
I am not sure. I have a feeling that this is one of those trailers where then you're going to see another trailer and go, it's totally not what I thought it was.
Exactly my same thought.
Because there's so much, like, is it trying to be kind of cheek and tongue? Is it trying to be a political statement? Are they going, like the scene where he comes up on the ball and the little girl's scared, like, I know what happens there. She gets blown up.
Right, right.
And you know, are they going to do that? I mean, what are they doing here?
Right. It feels very Adam McKay, like with that kind
Yeah.
of feel to
Yeah.
it. Peter Farley, he's Oscar nominated director and stuff. But I don't know if I could pin down a style with him. That's why I say Adam McKay.
Yeah.
Adam McKay can do a very serious subject and lighten it with comedy.
Yeah.
But still
And
tell
explain it to you without dumbing the whole movie down.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is very, like, it's a ridiculous story
Right.
that a guy decided to go take beers to his neighborhood buddies during Vietnam.
Right.
But because of that, you also have to deal with the story of America being in Vietnam.
Right. And America at home while Vietnam was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is where I'm like, I'm very interested because when I was very young, we had just gotten out of Vietnam. And so I, as a younger person, really didn't learn about the history of Vietnam. It was not until I was into college that I actually kind of started to understand the story of the United States being in Vietnam.
Right.
And how that all kind of played out both at home and here. And from my point of view as a younger person until I got older, I was under the impression that everyone in the United States hated everybody who went to Vietnam that got drafted and got went.
Yeah.
And this is laying out, and I know that's not true. It wasn't, and for a long time too, I felt that everyone who felt guilty about being mad at everybody who went tried to make up for it with the Vietnam Wall and like doing all this stuff and all this stuff. And that's correct. That's the right thing. It just, I've always been under this impression that it wasn't enough. It was unpopular war that everybody hated, and they blamed all the people who got drafted and went. This is laying out a very different kind of story.
Mm-hmm.
This is laying out, I feel for the guys who got drafted and went. And let's be a little tongue-in-cheek, like you're saying, but also let's like take a little bit lighter view of what actually happened.
Right.
And I like that. I like that idea.
I'm just thinking about it. Like, you know, the Vietnam War has been a very unpopular subject with movies and TV.
Right.
There was the one show, I don't even remember the name of it, about the nurses, and I think that was Vietnam. I don't think it was Korea. The
MASH was Korea. I'm trying to think of what the other one was.
No, MASH was
I know which one you're talking about. I'm trying to just run it through my head.
The girl who is Hawkeye's wife was one of the nurses in it, and it was the Rolling Stones Red Door was the I watched the crap out of it. I'm pretty sure that was Vietnam. And then there's like
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just, I mean, that's
just war porn.
And well, the movie was a dumpster. I mean, it won a lot of awards.
Right.
But when like,
I'm pretty sure Coppola was not sober for any of it, including the award season.
Right. And when you start to know some of the backstory about what was going, and Brando was just, you know, out there crazy through most of it. And so that's just a hard movie to watch. I mean, I've tried to go back and rewatch it, and I just can't. So it's interesting that they have chosen the Vietnam War, and like you said, it's kind of, are they gonna address what was actually happening? Because that's super depressing. Are they going? And I don't know if anybody needs that right now. Are they? I just don't know.
I have no concept of what the overall like idea of this movie is outside of the 2.5-minute trailer we just watched. Right. So from that perspective, I feel like the story they are going to lay out to us was, here's the horrificness that happened with Vietnam, and here are the guys who were there, and here are the people who took care of them when they got home. And so they're going to take not a lighter spin, but a more positive view of the guys who came home.
Yeah.
Because they made a point. They're making a point of saying one of the guys who didn't get drafted, who wasn't doing anything with his life, decided to go over and just give beers to his friends because he missed them and they needed a pick-me-up.
Yeah.
So if you're going to try to have this idea of the story of a pick-me-up from this guy, they even kind of address it. Like, what are you doing here? You think this is a game? And even that kind of, at least from where I sit, kind of comes across as that particular person is going to be like, I'm really glad you're here. I needed somebody to tell me that people still love me back home.
Yeah.
And I think if that's the angle they go with the story, I think I'm going to be in.
Yeah.
If you're going to tell the horrors of Vietnam, I don't need that.
Right.
I know that.
Right. That's why I'm like, I need to see some more before I decide whether I want to see it. I mean, Russell Crowe,
as a photographer, probably for like Time or somebody
maybe.
like that. Yeah.
And he took off a couple pounds.
Right.
And Bill Murray and Zac Efron, you know, like I feel like the three of them would make good choices about the movie, and yeah, I think it would be nice to have more of a, you know, him showing the people in America who some were protesting, some were not, but who were ultimately unaware of what was actually going on over there.
Right.
Some people had an idea, but not really physically aware of what was actually going on. And then the guys there, all they're hearing is everybody at home hates you.
Yep.
And so it's two perspectives coming together and seeing that not everything you're hearing is correct, or it's not everybody, and vice versa.
Right. In the line that Russell Crowe's character says, somebody needs to go home and tell everybody about this.
Right.
And like that's another thing where it's like while you were talking, I was like kind of popped in my head. I'm like, oh my God, this feels like they want to shed a light on. It wasn't all bad. It wasn't all horror. Yes, it was, but there was. I won't say good.
Well, there were people. But it wasn't every person that went over there. They weren't doing all these horrible things.
Yep.
It was, you know, a few. You know, there was horrible things that happened during, you know, the Iraq War and you know,
and Korea and World War II.
Yeah,
and
you get people that aren't maybe altogether stable, especially when they've been drafted. So they've been completely unvetted. It's not like they're in the army or in the service, you know, and they've vetted them somewhat. These are people off the street. You're going to have people that are going to be a little unstable, like, you know, like what they're doing, want to do more, whatever. And then you're going to have people that are just like, I'm just a guy from Iowa, you know, that was plowing the field, you know, a week ago.
And I got taken from my home to go into this war that nobody cares about. And so we're into the political commentary of it, but it's kind of hard not to get into the political commentary when you have a subject like this with Vietnam, but you're also trying to put a lighter spin on it. And so you kind of have to have that kind of a conversation back and forth about what are they really trying to say with this movie.
Yeah.
I'm also excited that it's going to be in theaters. It'll probably be limited here for us. It's not something that would draw. It's not. This doesn't make me want to get Apple Plus.
Right.
If I'm not getting Apple Plus for C and Ted Lasso, this is not going to be the draw for me.
Right.
But if it's in the theaters, I'm going to at least have the conversation about, do we want to go see it?
Yeah.
I think this is one of those ones where instead of being excited about going to see it, I'm going to wait till everybody else talks about it.
Yeah, or like I said, see another trailer.
That's
and kind of figure out. Yeah.
So that is our thoughts on the greatest beer run ever,
and apparently the Vietnam War.
Again, Hollywood telling us a story that we've never heard before. I'm totally down for this. So let us know what you thought of this trailer and our reaction to it in the comments down below. Please be nice. That's a requirement around here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Follow us on all the social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Links in the description down below. And until next time, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.